Hey guys, I'm back here again today, and I'm doing the another season preview, and today is the Washington Capitals, another team in the Metro Division, and this one's a little tough to do because I never really over the offseason comprehended how much Washington lost till I looked at their roster and depth chart, and it was like, wow, what happened to the Washington? Like, you look at the roster and they're gonna miss Schmidt, uh, Winnick, uh, I forget a few of their players, but they're gonna miss quite a few of the players they lost. They lost a few players in expansion. They had to trade out Johansson to make some cap relief for Kuznetsov because he held a gun to the Washington Capitals organization's head. Not literally, um, but basically he made him pay all the money or he's going to go to the KHL. So that's how that went down. Um, but a bright spot on this Capitals teams is that it could serve them well being an underdog. So let's get in lineup. There is a lot of like shot in the dark AHL prospects on this team that if they didn't have to get rid of anyone, they wouldn't be here. So first line is Chandler Stevenson. Yeah, a guy, unless you're probably a Washington fan, you probably never heard of. Down in the AHL last year, he had 10 goals, 28 assists, 30 points. I watched him down in Hershey. He's a pretty good forward. He's reliable defensively, and he can occasionally put the puck in the back of the net, and he's a good playmaker. Like I said, he's has the smarts, and he's reliable at both ends of the ice. Another pro for the Capitals is that I like their depth at center. They still have four really solid centers, which is good. It really need to compete in the playoffs and hopefully get past the first round and maybe go deep. But I want to see Washington win a cup, but just don't know if they can do it. And then centering this line, Nicholas Backstrom. I hope he can replicate the year he had last year because he had one hell of a year last year. Last year, 23 goals, 63 assists, 86 points. That's just great numbers by himself. We always knew that Backstrom was an excellent playmaker, and it's good to see him get 60 plus assists and that finally come to fruition. It'd be cool to see him get 60 plus assists again. I believe he can. He's only 29, so he's still got some good years in front of him. And on his wings, Oshie, we can debate about this. Is he worth all the money he got in the offseason? I believe he is. I really like Oshie on Washington. He seems like he wants to be there. He's committed. He tries every day. Wants to get better every day. Can he replicate the same season he had last year? Or was it like a flash in the pan season because he had a contract year? Historically, a lot of guys, they do well in contract years and they drop back the year after. Look at what John Tavares is doing this year, an example in New York. I mean, he's scoring almost a goal every game. I'm not saying he's going to get 82 goals, but like it's guys, they want to get paid, they're going to elevate their game to the next level. Oshie last year, 33 goals, 23 assists, 56 points. Great numbers out of him. He's great in the power play. He's reliable at both ends, like I said. He's just a great all-around player. Ovechkin, he bounced back at the start of this year. He has 13 goals this year. Last year, 33 goals, 36 assists, 68 points. That's a great play. That's a great season for anyone else besides Alex Ovechkin. That's a mediocre season for Ovechkin. The guy's used to scoring 50 goals, 20 plus power play goals. He has 13 this year, so he's on pace for around 40. so he might eclipse what he had last year. Right now, the Capitals only have four, well, I believe, 20-plus goal scorers in the forwards, and Backstrom, Ovechkin, Kuznetsov, and Oshie. It's not really that good. Like, you look at the Columbus period yesterday, I said that they had, I think, 7 or 8 that were capable of 20-plus, and that's depth in scoring. This Washington Capitals team has really iffy depth in scoring. It's iffy at best. Kuznetsov, last year, 19 goals, 40 assists, 59 points. That's another debate we got for today. Was he worth all the money he got in the offseason? I don't know. I mean, the Capitals had to re-sign him. If the Capitals didn't re-sign him, you would have Lars Eller as your second-line center. There would be a big hole. I mean, granted, they would have cap space, but who would you get back? I mean, it's just crazy. And then Devontae Smith-Pelly, it's telling when you can't score on a team that has scoring problems, and they release you. Last year, Smith-Pelly, 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points. It's his career. It's been really unfortunate. When he was drafted, he had all this hype around him. Like, he had the speed, the hands, and everyone thought it was going to translate to a great NHL career. But it just never really. He had a few good seasons, but never really all came to fruition for him. Really sucks. And then that's an alright top 6, but it's not a good top 6 like the Penguins or Blue Jackets, like I talked about yesterday. And then they have Brett Connolly playing third line left wing. Last year, 15 goals, 8 assists, 23 points. Maybe he scores 20 goals this year, but I don't see it happening. That's right about where he's going to get. He's a reliable two-way forward. Doesn't make many mistakes, and he's a good penalty killer. This is a good shutdown line. Lars Eller, I like him on the third line center shutdown role. Last year, Eller, 12 goals, 13 assists, 25 points. I really like what Lars Eller can do and what he brings to the team. He's not a superstar scorer, which is, Washington doesn't need a superstar scorer. They just need more depth in scoring. So, and then on the wing, they have Tom Wilson, who's shown flashes of brilliance. Maybe he breaks out this year, gets 15 plus goals, 20 goals. It'd be nice to see. I mean, he gets 100 plus penalty minutes every year, so. Last year, Wilson 7 goals, 12 assists, 19 points. Sorry. It's decent numbers out of him. And then Nathan Walker in the AHL. He's not afraid to stick up for your teammates. He'll fight when he needs to. He's a go-around player. And he's good in the locker room. He's a solid team guy. Last year, 11 goals, 12 assists, 23 points. I would like to see what Nathan Walker can do this year. That'd be interesting. Then Jay Beagle. They're a really solid fourth-line center. Great penalty killer. Solid defensively. He doesn't make many mistakes. And he can occasionally score, given the ice time and opportunity. And then they acquired Alex Chason. A nice depth move. I like that decision. Last year, Chason, 12 goals, 12 assists, 24 points. That's great numbers if he's on your fourth line. I really like what he brings to the team. This top 6 really misses Burakovsky right now in LTIR. That's another 20-plus goal scorer. That is good and young and fast, and that can snipe behind Ovechkin. This top 4, it's alright. I like Dmitry Orlov. I like how they brought him back. Last year, Orlov, 6 goals, 27 assists, 33 points. Orlov's a solid two-way defenseman. He can quarterback a power play if you want him to. He's just solid all around, and he showed me last year. I'm curious to see if he can elevate his game more this year. Then he's paired with Niskanen, who's back from injury now, which is going to help Washington. So Brooks Orpik is going to play a bunch of minutes, so you can save him down the stretch since he's a little long in the tooth. Last year, Niskanen, 5 goals, 34 assists, 39 points. Great numbers out of him. He can quarterback a power play if you want him to as well. That top two pairings make many mistakes, and it's solid defensively. So Brooks Orpik, he's not top four anymore. He's slow and he's old, and he's gonna take a lot of stupid penalties. I think with the new, with the new slashing rule in place, it really hampers old slow forwards. Last year, 14 assists, didn't score a goal, 14 points. That's telling. Maybe he'll score a goal this year. I don't know. And he's paired with John Carlson, who is the big fish next offseason. And I don't know if he's going to come back to Washington. Last year, Carlson, 9 goals, 28 assists, 37 points. Good numbers out of him. But if he gets hurt, this Washington Blue Line's done. D-O-N-E, done. And then Chorney, I don't really like him as your fifth defenseman, but he's better than Juice or Ness. So Chorney last year, 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points. Decent numbers out of him. He's a good penalty killer, and he won't hurt you that much. And then he's paired with Madison Bowie. I watched him in the AHL last year. Solid player. Doesn't make many mistakes. I don't see many flaws with this game. He's a physical defenseman. He gets on the forecheck. Doesn't get on the forecheck, but he doesn't make many mistakes out there. Last year, Bowie, 3 goals, 11 assists, 14 points. Decent numbers out of him. And then they have good goaltending. You have elite goalie in Braden Holtby. Last year, Holtby, 925 save percentage, 2.07 goals against. It's not his fault that his team always crumbles in front of the playoffs. You can't always rely on your goalie to come up and post a shutout every game in the playoffs. I mean, there's always a save or two you want back, but every year it doesn't always the sword doesn't always fall on Holtby. It has to eventually fall on the team in front of him. And he has a solid backup behind him that will give you a chance to win every game. And Philip Grubauer, last year, 926 save percentage, 2.04 GA. Solid numbers out of him. I think he played 20 games last year, and he'll give you a chance to win every one. So, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe your brothers running through. And I'm out, guys. Peace. Have a great rest of your day.